Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to be doing an overview of Batman Noel. Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. And as always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're going to be doing an overview of Batman Noel. I do have a review of this book up on the channel. It is from our good buddy Jim Fantis over from the Viper Magic YouTube channel. He does games over there. But from time to time, I have been giving him books to read. So instead of doing a review, we're gonna page through this and do an overview and talk about the book. And I just reread this again because it is December and it is the Christmas season. And I said, hey, I got a Christmas book here. Can I cover it? Sure thing. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I already gave this to Jim to read. So instead of doing another review, I'll kind of put my thoughts in here as we page through it. But just know that if you want a full take on it or another take, you can go watch Jim's review. I will link it in the autoplay stuff at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get into this. So Batman Noel. This is the deluxe version, so this is a bigger version of the book, although I'm not quite sure whether to say like that this book is the first printing or whatever, because it does say New York Times bestseller. So I know it came out as an original graphic novel, and here is the book next to a trade paperback, so you can kind of see the dimensions. So it is a deluxe version, trim size of it, but I don't think it's the first printing of this particular story, so I want to say this was an original graphic novel because there are no chapter breaks. I did not pick this up when it came out because I thought, maybe it's okay, maybe it's not. I actually think I picked this up digitally on like a $5 sale, and then I think I picked this version, this hardback version, up just a year or two ago, probably when I gave it to Jim. I think I got it on sale, like, I'm pretty sure you can find these, whether it's the trade paperback, the hardcover, the deluxe version. I feel like you can find these, you can find Batman Noel out there pretty cheap because I think DC produced it thinking it was going to be an evergreen, you know, like something that always sold or something. You know, Bermejo, he was a hot artist. He did the Joker graphic novel. He's now done Batman Damned with Brian Azzarello. He did Suiciders, I think, a couple years ago, which was all him writing and doing the art here. So he's a hot artist. He's doing a bunch of covers for Detective Comics. If you're not following his Instagram, his stuff is amazing, and he's one of my favorite artists. However, he is not my favorite writer, and I think Noel was ultimately a misfire, and that is why this book is not an evergreen. But it is still beautiful to look at, so you may be able to find it for a discount. It's a little introduction from Jim Lee here. So let's page through this. I do like this opening sequence because when you're reading it, you're like zooming out away from this tower, you know, or it's more like a camera panning. You're starting out on the left here, you're zooming out and coming down, and then you're kind of moving into the next area. Now, actually, this is a 2-page spread here. You're coming down again. You're coming down, boom, here's Batman kind of on this same rooftop that you just see here, and then you're following Batman. So what is Batman Noel? Well, Batman Noel is kind of a retelling of the Christmas Carol storyline. It does say in the very beginning here, it's like, sorry, Charles Dickens, or something like that. What does it say? Yeah, with respect to Charles Dickens. So it's kind of juxtaposing Batman and A Christmas Carol at the same time and seeing if there's any relation between the two. So here we have one of our characters, Bob, and you know, you think it's going to be about him, maybe from his perspective. That's not the case at all. And then you have Batman. And Batman, you know, all these narrative captions in here in the white lettering are talking about Scrooge and Bob, you know, and the ghost. So this is where the stuff with the Christmas Carol comes in, is in this this white lettering, right? So it's not really about, these don't really talk about Bob and Batman. So you kind of have two stories going at once. You just kind of have this vague retelling of A Christmas Carol here in the lettering, and then you have the story of Batman and Bob and the Joker and everybody else who appears in the artwork, and all that separate stuff going on. So you can kind of read it, like, if you just read the the narrative captions by themselves and don't look at any of the artwork, it's not that good of a retelling. If you just read the artwork and the comic balloons, it's not that good of a Batman story. What kind of makes this more interesting is the juxtaposition of what the captions are saying to what's happening in the artwork as you're going along. Unfortunately, it's interesting, but it's not great. What is great is the artwork, though. And you're getting 100% of Lee Bermejo. You're not getting the halfway stuff he did in Luthor or Joker. You're getting the same stuff he did in Batman Damned, where it's fully painted, phenomenal stuff. I'm over here at my bookshelf looking for Joker. Here it is. The Joker stuff. So, one thing about this Joker graphic novel, we're not doing an overview of this, is that a lot of it was like the old pencil stuff he was doing at Wildstorm, just pencils and inks, kind of plain, and then you would get stuff like that, which was fully painted. What's nice about Batman Noel is that it's all 100% fully painted, artwork from Lee Bermejo. And this is really this is what I want from Lee Bermejo. While I do enjoy his kind of just the no frills approach with the pencils and how interesting it is to see his unpainted, ungray tones artwork that he does, I think his strength is really in how he renders this stuff. This is just phenomenal art here. So, if it takes a little bit longer, if we're only going to get graphic novels from Lee Bermejo, if we're not going to get any regular artwork, I think that's fine. The same thing with Alex Ross. Alex Ross is a great illustrator. He did some stuff with Justice, with Doug Braithwaite, that was really interesting. But it really just showed that, his strength, while a capable artist, is really the more interesting part about Alex Ross, and the same thing with Lee Bermejo, is how they paint, right? I think Lee Bermejo, let's go check the, I thought, nope, he does the colors, no. So Lee Bermejo does the black and white tones, and then there's colors here by Barbara Ciardo. So I'm not sure if that's the case with everything, but I know he mostly renders in black and white, at least what I've seen on his Instagram and stuff. So, basically your three ghosts here, you have Robin as the ghost of the past, this kind of vision, or he's like the Cratchit, the partner, not Cratchit, Ebenezer, Cratchit, I'm trying to think of the partner ghost is kind of Robin, this dead Robin in this story, saying hey, you're going to be visited by three ghosts. So the first one here is Superman. There you go, here's the ghost thing. Christmas present, of course, he's the bright and shiny one. You get another one, I think, with Catwoman, and then the Joker is kind of this final ghost, and it doesn't really make everything stick. You get this kind of dream sequence, this vision of hell, what the world would be like without Batman, although I would argue this is not, A Christmas Carol was a world without Ebenezer Scrooge, was kind of weird. This is what happens to Batman if he fails, kind of thing. What happens to all his friends and buddies. Not necessarily giving a reason for Batman to be here, just, here's what's going to happen after you die if you stay being an asshole. And then we kind of move off the Christmas Carol stuff into the resolution of our comic book story. So it's a short little graphic novel. I really think DC, they really thought they had something here, and it just didn't turn out the way they wanted, and that's why you can kind of find this kind of, most places probably for a little cheap. I suggest going to a con and looking in some bargain bins or something like that. I think you'll definitely find a copy or two there. So it's a nice little tale. It's just not the best thing that Lee Bermejo's ever done. So it's a swing and a miss for Lee Bermejo, and I think that's a little bit of a bummer because I think he's a phenomenal artist, and I can't remember. This may be the first thing he wrote or something like that. I don't know, but it's not as good as when he teams up with Brian Azzarello, who is only a writer, instead of Lee Bermejo trying to do all the heavy lifting here. So, anyway, that's the overview of Batman Noel. Not quite a Christmas classic comic book, but something you can read in the holiday times and go, okay, I'm in the holiday mood for some more Batman kind of thing. So let me know what you guys think of Batman Noel. Am I wrong? Am I missing the point of this book? Let me know down below in the comments, and we will see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.